How's it going today, folks? My name is Peoples, and welcome back to another episode. Today is one of my favorite days of the year. It's not Christmas, it's not Thanksgiving, it's not even my birthday, but it's Harley-Davidson model release day. What's up, everybody? How we doing today? I want to welcome you back to my motorcycle channel. Now, if this is your first time here, hopefully you like motorcycle content. That's all we're going to talk about, and that's all we're going to talk about all year long is different motorcycles, different brands, trips, and everything like that. So if you do like that kind of stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But I'm sorry I'm seeming a little bit animated today, but I'm really excited. Today is, like I said, one of my most favorite days of the year. Today, Harley-Davidson released the 2023 models. And like I said, after what I saw a couple hours ago, I am really excited. So let's take a little time and let's dive into these and talk about these bikes. Okay, now we're gonna break this down by family. We're gonna go one family at a time so I can explain what's new and what's not, what's going away and everything. And I'm gonna jump around, but the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the Sportster family, which as you can see has been totally revamped. There are no more 883s and there are no more 1200s as in the 48, the 1200 Custom and stuff like that. But there's Nightster 975, which I've already done a previous video on. There's the Iron 1250S, which that video will be coming soon. And there's actually a new model coming this year, and it is called the Nightster 975 Special. And as you can see right here, there has been some changes to it. You can see you lose the cowl, different wheels, different colors and everything. This is an absolutely beautiful bike. The 975 has been a massive success right now, and this is just adding to the stable of the Sportster line, like I said, with the 1250S and the Nightster 975. So hopefully we should be getting one of those pretty soon, and I'll be able to talk about that one. So that's another reason why to subscribe, so you don't miss anything when that video comes along, and it should be coming along pretty soon. Now let's take a look at the Softails for 2023. This right here, this is the Softail Standard. Now, this bike has remained relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. And you can get any color you want in this entry-level Harley-Davidson as long as it's traditional Harley-Davidson Vivid Black. This motorcycle in front of me, this right here is the Street Bob 114. Now, once again, this bike has remained relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. You do have a few more exciting color options, but now you can get this with the cast aluminum wheels, what this motorcycle has, or optional wire wheels. Now, when they deleted that, because it used to be a long time ago, all Harley-Davidson Street Bobs came with wire wheels. They took it away in the last year or two. Everybody was really upset about it. They called Harley-Davidson listened, as I always say, and now they brought back the wire wheel option for this motorcycle for 2023. Next up, you have, once again, what I think is the most underrated motorcycle that Harley-Davidson makes. This is the Fat Bob 114. Once again, it is relatively unchanged for the model year, except for a few color options, but when it's perfect, how are you gonna mess with perfection? Next step up, we have the traditional Fat Boy, and that was one of the last videos I did for 2022. Relatively unchanged, once again, except for a few more color options, but now it comes with cruise control as standard equipment. This is the 2023 Heritage. Once again, cruise control is standard. Bike is relatively unchanged except for a few color options, but you can no longer get cast aluminum wheels, which were introduced last year. It wasn't a wildly popular item, so they're back to strictly wire wheels only. On from that one, you have the Lowrider S, which is relatively unchanged, except for you can no longer get it in gunship gray. It is now Vivid Black or Sand Pearl White. The same thing with the Lowrider ST, unchanged for 2023, but like I said, the same colors, white sand pearl and vivid black, and both those bikes you can see are trimmed in bronze. But the big news this year, once again, you speak, Harley-Davidson listens, they brought back the breakouts. And this bike, as you can see from this picture, it looks absolutely awesome. But there are two major changes they did when they did bring it back. One, it comes standard with a 117 cubic inch motor, which, like I said, is the biggest motor that Harley-Davidson puts in a production motorcycle. And no longer that small 3+ gallon gas tank. We now have a traditional big 5 gallon, 5 gallon gas tank on this motorcycle. So it was always a hot seller before. Not really sure why they took it away, but it is back. And I'm pretty sure with these upgrades, as far as the paint, the big motor, and a bigger gas tank so you can go longer, I'm pretty sure it's continued to be a hot seller. Now that brings me to the Adventure Touring family, which is the Pan America line. Now, this right here, the bikes really haven't changed. We have the Pan America 1250. Now, this bike is relatively unchanged with the exception of you no longer have a color choice. It just comes in this one color, basic black, which is Harley-Davidson traditional, vivid black color. And with the Pan America Special, once again, relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year, but you do have some exciting color choices. One of which is this beautiful yellow right here. And this bike absolutely, the camera doesn't do us justice. It just absolutely glows. So you gotta get by a dealership and you really have to check this one out. Now let's talk about everybody's favorite motorcycle, baggers. Now we're gonna break it down a little bit model by model. So stay with me here because there's a little bit to go over with the baggers. This one right here in front of me in this beautiful red line red, this is what's known as a Road Glide Custom, or what some people can call it the Road Glide Standard, and it's relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. You still have the Milwaukee 807 cubic inch cruise control, touchscreen navigation, optional RDRS. This is just your basic bagger. This is actually what I own, not this one, but a Road Glide Standard. I absolutely love it. I'm actually on my third one. But right next to it, this is the Road Glide Special. Once again, relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. It still has Milwaukee 8114, cruise control, touchscreen navigation, stretch bags, painted interfering. But what things really get interesting is you can now get a 120th anniversary edition in the Road Glide Special. And this bike is just absolutely amazing looking. I've seen one in person and wow, it's time to buy a new one. So if somebody wants to buy mine, just, you know how to get in touch with me. But this bike, this red, the emblem on it, the speed, what they call the Speed Eagle, the little bit of trim, the gold trim on it, the seating, the stitching on it. This bike is just, it is amazing looking. Now, not every model is going to get a 120th anniversary edition, so I'm going to go over those, but the Road Glide Special and the Street Glide Special, which we'll talk about in just a second, it gets one as well. But there's one more Road Glide in the stable that's not a full dresser, and that is what's known as the Road Glide ST. Now that one is the race bike inspired one that you see in the Bagger Racing, and that comes standard equipment with, once again, the biggest motor that Harley-Davidson makes. The 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine. And outside from a few color choices, that bike is relatively unchanged too, with the exception of you can no longer get the gunship gray. It only comes in vivid black or this beautiful sand pearl. And both of those, once again, are trimmed in bronze. And for you full dresser fans who are out there in the audience, you know, the guys, the ground pounders, the guys that really put an astronomical amount of miles on these bikes, driving from one side of the country to the other. This is the 2023 Road Glide Limited. Now, this bike is relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. It still comes with the 114, heated grips, touchscreen navigation, painted interference, and it is still twin cool with the lower fairings. But outside of a few color choices and color combinations, because you can get this in either black or red, or I'm sorry, black or chrome, this bike is relatively unchanged. And I mean, honestly, why mess with perfection? Now, for those of us not really into the full dresser look, not ready to do 15, 20, 25, 30,000 miles a year, driving all the way across the country constantly, but you like the kind of stripped down, minimalistic, you know, hot rod bagger look, For 2023, you have the Street Glide. Now, once again, this bike is relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. It still comes standard with the 107 cubic inch, Milwaukee 8 engine, cruise control, touchscreen navigation, and it's just your basic building blocks of the custom bike market. And like I said, outside of a few different color choices, the bike has remained relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. Now, if you need a little bit something extra, we've got the Street Glide Special. Once again, it has relatively been unchanged for the 2023 model, except one thing I'm gonna tell you about in just a second. It still comes standard with a 114 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine, stretch bags, pin interfering, touchscreen navigation, cruise control, and so on. You can also get it in chrome or blacked out like the Bumblebee bike right here. And like I said, there's a few other color choices, but what sets this one apart from the regular Street Glide, and just like the Road Glide Special, you can get a 120th anniversary edition in this motorcycle. And I'm gonna stop talking about it, but when you see it, you definitely gonna buy one. And I've got one more Street Glide to tell you about. This is the Street Glide ST. Just like the Road Glide ST, it comes standard with a 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine. Bike was just introduced last year, so there really is no need to change it, and it was a super hot seller. We couldn't keep that or the Road Glide version on the floors. So it does come trimmed in brawn. It does come with the standard 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine, which once again is the biggest motor that Harley puts in a production motorcycle. So check it out. And now last, but certainly not least, to round out the touring bike and bagger family, this is the 2023 Road King Special. Now, there have been some changes this year to the Road King family. You can no longer get a Road King Classic in this country. All we have left, and I don't mean to make it sound like a bad thing, but we have the Road King Special. And this actually, for a long time, has been the most popular Road King for the last 2, 3, 4 years since it's been first introduced. And like I said, it just has that mean, modern, young, sleek, Billy Badass look to it. But it's relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. You have the standard 114 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine. It has the standard stretch bags and cruise control, and it's not even an option. It is all blacked out. But like I said, outside of a few color changes, it's relatively unchanged for the 2023 model year. Now, last few bikes I want to take a little bit of time to tell you about. There is one touring bike that I didn't really talk about. I talked about the whole entire sports line with chains on that, the Softail line with chains on that, and for the most part, the American touring family, which is the baggers. But there's one bike that I just slightly touched on. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about right now. This absolutely gorgeous motorcycle is the 2023 CVO Screaming Eagle Road Glide Limited. And I don't know what to say about this, but I need $54,000 fast. So this bike, they're only making one CVO this year, and in my opinion, Harley-Davidson absolutely knocked it out the park on this one. I mean, and it's going to come with your standard, CVO equipment. I shouldn't say standard to downplay it, but they're all going to come with the 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine. They're going to come with heated seats, heated grips, touchscreen navigation, custom paint, power locks. I mean, you name it, everything that Harley makes is going in this motorcycle. But there's a catch though. They're only going to make 1,500, and as of right now, as of launch date today, they're only making one CVO this year. This is it. So you could see why they pulled out all the stops with this bike. This was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know when they're going to release them from the factory. I don't know when I'm going to get my hands on one, but I guarantee you when I do, the video will be coming out probably that same day. I don't know if I'll get to test ride one this year, but that's okay. I understand most people that buy CVOs don't want miles on them. But if you are lucky enough, or if I'm lucky enough that someone buys my bike fast enough to get my hands on one, whoo, you better believe I'm gonna rub this thing down with a diaper every day, because wow. But that's not the only new bike that came out this year. Now, Something that people have been asking for since I've been with Harley-Davidson 14 years. This is the Road Glide trike, or what is known as the Road Glide 3. This is something people have been asking for so long, and I'll just always tell them, yeah, you know, probably not going to do it, you know. And it might come this year. Well, once again, you spoke, Harley-Davidson listened. This one, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, I've never been more excited to ride a trike in my life. But this one, oh, the second I get my hands on one, I'm gone. This is based off the Turnbike chassis, which is going to be a tri-glide and a freewheeler, but it is going to add a full Road Glide fairing on the inside. We're talking nav, radio, everything. So from the seat forward, it's Road Glide. From the seat back, it's trike. It's based off the same, like I said, the same chassis as the freewheeler and the tri-glide. Now, the tri-glide is relatively unchanged this year with a few color choices. There is no blacked out version. It is still chrome, but there are a few color options on it. But what did make a major change this year is the freewheeler. As you can see, it is now all blacked out, and these wheels on that bike are just absolutely killer. I know there's gonna be people in the parts department right away trying to buy those for their bikes, their old freewheelers, their old trikes and everything, or just trying to put those wheels on a regular bike, because those wheels, that designer, no, he knew what he was doing. Those wheels just absolutely make that bike, especially with the blacked out. So it gives that newer, modern, younger look. So, well, that's going to wrap it up for the 2023 model year. I mean, I don't know about you, but I am just absolutely excited. I'm really excited at what Harley-Davidson is going to do this year. I don't know what Icon bikes are going to come out this year. They haven't released that. And I know they will, because they had the Enthusiast Edition, the Diablo that's sitting right behind me, and before that, they had a couple other Icon bikes. Now, they promised they were going to come out with 2 a year. They haven't told us what they were, but we'll figure it out later on in the future. And, you know, it's going to be fun this year. So if you are in the market or even thinking about buying a Harley-Davidson, you need to get in there and get one of these new models, because they were pretty difficult to get last year, and some of these bikes are just going to be absolutely smoking hot, and they're going to fly out of the showroom. So if you by chance find one at your Harley dealership and you like it, you better buy it. So, but once again, thank you, and I appreciate you for checking us out. Once again, if you love motorcycle content and want to learn about bikes, because I'm going to be talking about these bikes individually in detail for the rest of the year, as well as other manufacturers' bikes. I'm going to try to do that this year. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. So until then, let's ride again.